Hope you've all had a nice Mothering Sunday. You'll be probably quite pleased to hear that I've got a chronic toothache. I've just asked for some painkillers to be prescribed by the doctor. I've got diclofenac, which I got independently prescribed to me by a Bupa dentist when I had one of my wisdom teeth removed. That's on my left-hand side. The mole's on the right, so that's the one on the opposite side to the mole on my face, in case anyone needs to identify my body if I don't make it out of here in one piece. But yeah, so just got an on-call doctor to come into the lab, and first of all, just said, "Can I see your ID?" And he didn't actually have it on like he's supposed to. They're all supposed to. And so he went and got his ID, showed it to me, I read it. It said specialty doctor, and he was a specialist in mental health. He was of an ethnic minority, and his name was Philip. And so I asked him, just before we start, can I just put your details into the GMC register just to make sure that you're qualified to practice? And he refused. He's refused very, very profusely to give me his GMC number. The time's now 4:55. This was about 15 minutes ago in the pharmacy, Hayward Ward. We had a long debate where he refused to provide his GMC number, and I told him, I sort of Googled it with AI, and I was like, look, you know, you have to, this is, let's have a look. I'll see if I can show you what it said on my last search. My last voice search should be there. Doctor's GMC number and qualifications. So it says here, yes, right to check qualifications. Yes, you have the right to verify a doctor's qualifications. I read him this text. You can do this by searching the GMC register. Whole website provides tools to search the register, blah, blah, blah. I read in this text, and I put it to him that after having read it to him several times, he'd either, I know I've said this before and it's a bit sardonic and arrogant, but I don't care, because you know, I've got a right to feel a little bit aggrieved and be a little bit animated at just such gross malpractice and negligence. So I said, look, I've read you these words. You must know, as a doctor who's qualified, who's done a doctorate, to be able to be practicing medicine for an exorbitant salary in the UK as a British citizen, registered by the General Medical Council, that of course you must identify yourself to a patient and verify that you're qualified. Of course you must. You can only be either illiterate, like you're not able to read those words, or suffering some kind of amnesia or a dementia where you've forgotten all of the things that you were trained in medical school to be able to do when asked by a patient, like reassure them that you're qualified with license to practice in the UK when you're potentially about to give them medicines which, if you give the wrong dose or the wrong type, or one which triggered an allergy, or to somebody who's hypoglycemic or you know, diabetic, or had leukemia or lung cancer, or you know, any number of, you know, motor neurons disease, or ME, or, you know, God knows, doctors make mistakes. And so I just wanted a bit of accountability, but unfortunately he just outrightly refused. And then after he went and got his ID, I was like, if you won't give me a GMC number, will you just show me your ID? And he was like, no, hiding his ID badge away from me. You can't see my name and put it into your phone. I said, well, mate, you're a doctor. You're a doctor registered by the General Medical Council. All I want to do, what's your problem, man? You've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear. I mean, I'm just, you know, and then he said he was going to refuse to treat me. He said, I won't be giving you any medicine. I won't be giving you any medicine if you don't discontinue this line of questioning, you know, which is negligence. You know, I'm not going to go to a solicitor. I'm not going to bother making a complaint. I can't make a complaint to the GMC or the hospital because I don't know his fucking name. All I know is that his name's Philip, which narrows it down to about 318,000 people across the world. Here is some more shit for you to read me fucking garbling into my phone from the internet. If a doctor refuses to display their photo ID, reveal their name or GMC number, you should raise your concerns with the medical practice manager or the General Medical Council as their regulatory body for doctors. Here's some more detailed explanation there. I was politely first, which I did. I was totally polite. I was totally friendly and warm and affable with the guy. Politely request to see their photo ID, which at first he did show to me, in fairness to him. And it did say his name on there. When I asked him for his GMC number, he then refused to provide it and then refused to give me back the ID so I could search for him by name rather than GMC number. Document the situation. That's what I'm doing now. If the doctor refuses, note the date and the time and the location of the incident along with any details about the situation. Contact the practice. Speak to the practice manager. If the doctor is employed by the practice, contact the practice manager to express your concerns and ask for clarification. Ask for alternative verification. In some cases, practice may be able to provide alternative verification of a doctor's credentials, such as a certificate of good standing from the GMC. I'm raising concern with the GMC, which I can't do because the only way they can do that is by identifying me on the CCTV, being patient on the ward, and I've got a funny feeling that's probably never going to happen. Not because I'm not a patient on the ward, but because they're just not going to investigate themselves and find themselves guilty. Regulating doctors, investigating concerns, taking action, blah, blah, blah. Speak to the GMC. Yeah, I had quite a nice day up until that. But yeah, I'm in loads of pain. I got... you can see there's a filling, and yeah, I got a letter. I'll show you the letter. Wait there, if I've got time. I was referred by SmilePad in Bristol, who are an excellent dentist, who I'm registered with, and have been since about 2020. To the Bupa Dental Centre for multiple wisdom tooth extractions and extractions of that one there, which hurts like fuck and has a filling on it. I got this nice letter from SmilePad, and when I went to Bupa Dental, they prescribed me the diclofenac, which I'm going to go and take in a minute, which is an NSAID non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. And when I got to the Bupa Dental Centre, they said, look, your wisdom teeth aren't abscessed. You've got one that needs to come out, but the rest of them aren't abscessed or infected or decayed or cutting through. So actually you don't need to have those. And in my opinion, you can have a root canal on that one. SmilePad wrote to me. There's the envelope. The postal mark looks pretty legit. It's got one of those new style stamps that came out just after I got something exciting through the mail a few years ago, but I won't mention that. It wasn't anything to do with a hyperbaric explosive or like polonium or anything like that. It was just something, you know, minor, and that's where they started introducing these barcoded stamps. Same time, just like Barclays did video banking the day that they closed down my facility with them. The next day they started video banking, and I was having all my phone calls hacked. But look, this is delusional bullshit. Don't want to hear any of this stuff. The letter reads, Dear Mr. McLeod, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing regarding your recent referral to the Bristol Dental Anaesthetic Clinic, that's what it was called, Bupa 1, up by the Bristol Old Vic, for extraction of the unrestorable teeth. We've received a letter from the specialist advising that you declined to have the treatment that we requested carried out. I must inform you that these teeth are not restorable, and so your only options going forward are 1, leave and monitor the teeth with continued pain or infections. Leave and monitor the tooth. So just wait until your teeth rot away and you just suffer in agony indefinitely. Doesn't sound like a very good option to me. Option 2, re-referral back to the specialist for removal of the teeth, which is probably what I'm going to have to do. I shall get in touch with them. It's nice of them to not email me and to just write to me. I mean, yeah, if they'd emailed me, I've just been to collect my mail from my house. When I got to my house in Bristol, I've still got a tenancy with them. I was speaking to the manager yesterday on the phone, and there's somebody else living in my room. Went back and collected all of this mail from my address in Talbot Avenue in Bristol. And yeah, there's somebody, they haven't ended the tenancy, but there's somebody in my bedroom who's moved in there, and they're presumably claiming rent from these people who've just moved into my room. But I was placed there by Cygnet at the end of 2023. So yeah, thanks for that. Someone's at the door now, so I'm gonna have to go. Big love, all the best. Word to your mum.